One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
70,000 tons of metal.
The original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, one cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets.
From Miami, Florida to Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
January 30th to February 3rd, 2025. 5 days and 4 nights mingling side by side with your favorite artists in this incredible fan-friendly scenario that has no comparison.
Go to 70,000tons.com and book your ticket now.
So Jim Crean from the Peace Brothers. I play with a really cool project now called Sabbath Nights with Vinny Appice. We're doing all the retrospective of his career from when he was in Dio and Black Sabbath. So we got a whole touring band put together for that. We did a tour last year, and it was really exciting. And we decided, hey, let's keep this thing going. So we booked a ton of dates for the whole summer. So we're going to be starting in California. We're going to Arizona. Where else? Chicago. So, and then upstate New York. So we got that going. I also have a really cool project with Vinny Appice and Steph Hahn called Scream Taker. And then I play in a regional tribute band called Hero Nation. So,
okay. Perfect. So, like I told you, this is going to be sort of a documentary on aging in the metal world and whatever. So I'm going to jump in. If you don't like any of the questions, we can move on. Nothing.
Yeah, you'll edit it.
Yeah, and nothing's tricky. So, I mean, if you don't like something, we can also go from there. So let's
Sure.
just jump anywhere. Looking back on your career, let me pull open this thing here. Looking back on your career, are there any moments or achievements that you hold particularly close to your heart? And if so, what are they?
I mean, the cool part about my career is I did a lot of touring, worldwide, but I always try keeping true to New York, where I'm from. And in 2019, I was recognized in the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. I thought that was a cool thing, with the likes of Rick James and Billy Sheehan, the Goo Goo Dolls, and guys like that. So those are all my peers that, it was kind of cool to be recognized with those guys. So I thought that was a cool accomplishment. And we used to have awards here. Every year I'd win like a male vocalist award and stuff. So that was always pretty cool. But awards are awards, it's half the time they're popularity contest. But I think the crowning moments were when I would go on tour with the Peace Brothers, Carmine Appice and Vinny Appice, who, as we both know, are drum legends. So and when they decided to take me on as their official singer, I thought that was probably a crowning achievement in my career.
Fair enough. So,
and I also played with a lot of my heroes on my solo albums. I've played with the likes of one of my biggest influence, Phil Naro. He's produced all my albums and sang backgrounds and stuff. And Phil Lewis from LA Guns, Mike Tramp from White Lion. I mean, the list goes on. So, and Frank Domino from Angel was a big influence when I started off, and here I am. He's been on a couple of my records. So, I really feel like over the years that I've got to perform and open up for a tour with some of my, bands I grew up watching and enjoying. Here I am working with them, and then a lot of them I call my friends now. So it's been a really great thing for me, really.
All right. So as you continue to age, which we're all doing, what legacy do you hope to leave behind as a musician, and how do you want to be remembered by future generations of metal fans?
Just that, I wrote some great songs, some good metal songs. I have 9 solo albums out, and I'm on a bunch of albums, probably another 20 albums. So just that my music lives on with my my legacy. I hope that does happen. I get fans from across the world. I get people from, Europe and stuff, and say that they really like all my music, and they send me, notes that they listen to my music all the time. So that's kind of cool, that I've touched so many people throughout the world with my voice. So that's kind of the legacy I want to leave.
Okay. So that kind of feeds into the next one then. As you reflect on your journey as a metal musician, what emotions arise when you think about the impact your music has had on fans throughout the years?
Just that when when we're playing and we do our meet and greets and stuff like that after our shows. I have people come up and they hand me my CD or my album, my vinyls or whatever, and I'm signing them. So that's kind of a cool thing that, hey, this guy liked this enough to want to buy a ticket to come see me play, and our genre of music is, as you know, it's getting older now, and so people are still interested in it. It's just why I'm still doing it and still putting out music. So that's kind of what that's kind of what I'm doing now in the stage and music. I mean, I've been in the business for 45 years.
Right. So what role do you think nostalgia plays in the continued popularity of metal, especially among fans?
I think that is the role. I think it's all nostalgic. We put out with the Peace Brothers, we put out an album in 2016, the Apathy album, and it sold out right away, which was really cool. But a lot of people bought it from Japan and Europe and stuff like that. And in the States, it did well, but it did better overseas. Germany, I think all their vinyl sold out in Germany and whatnot. But I think what happens is people like to come out and see the bands from our genre, because I think it brings them back to the time when they were younger and and there was a vibrant music scene. And I think that's the nostalgic of it. I think the music that I still do is very nostalgic.
So, as we've talking about 45 years in the business, what are some of the biggest challenges you face now as an aging musician, and how do you overcome them, or do you?
Well, yeah, oh yeah, we all do. I mean, it's just that the touring. I mean, we don't do it as much as we used to. I mean, you can't really go on the road for 3-4 weeks at a time like we used to, just because financially it doesn't make any sense. Um, Physically, who wants to be away, that long from your family and your everyday life, and just economically. I mean, there's not weeknights are tougher to be when you book a tour, when you route a tour. Like for example, this summer we're doing mostly Thursdays through Sundays, but the Thursdays and the Sundays are the anchor dates. So it's always like those are like you're expecting a lesser of a night as opposed to the Friday, Saturday, because people from our age, obviously they work and they don't want to go out during the week on a school night per se. So, that whole thing's changed. Years ago, you could play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It didn't matter what day it was because it was going to be busy. People were out every night of the week. So that whole challenge changed. And of course, the whole, when you make a record, you tour the record. That whole thing has changed too. Now, when you make a record, you're making the record basically just to sell it at your merch table. You really are. People aren't really going out and buying records anymore. And if they do, it's loyal fans, dedicated fans. But when you sell it at the merch table, they want to buy it because they got your autograph that you can get on it, and they can take a piece of the show home with them.
Many musicians struggle with mental health issues, substance abuse, and burnout throughout their careers. How do you prioritize mental and emotional well-being while navigating the demands of the music business or the metal industry?
I never had an issue with that. I mean, so I can't relate to that. I never did drugs or drank or any of that crazy stuff. So I can't relate to that. And most of the bands I've been in with, we don't, it's not about that. We're in it for the music solely. And then honestly, I surround myself with musicians like that. I don't want to play. I would never, if I see anything like that, I kind of, no matter how good the band is, I'm not going to be a part of it. So I can't relate to that question, unfortunately.
No worries. Actually, it's good you can't relate to it. So two more. Let's see. Looking back at your career, is there anything you wish you would have done differently, or any regrets you have in the music business?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, and we talk about this all the time. I wish I would have moved out to California when I was young. I went and toured Canada. I did a whole thing of Canada when I got out of high school and whatnot. And I probably should have, in hindsight, because that was right when the scene was really vibrant, like 86, 87. I probably should have went to LA and tried the Sunset Strip idea that everybody else was doing, because that was my wheelhouse right there. I would have did pretty well with that. So that's the only really regret I have. I should have probably gave it a shot, threw my hat in the ring in LA and see what happened. In the early, because I played there so many times since now, and I've worked with so many of these guys that did do that, and they always like, "Where were you in the '80s?" I'm like, "Well, I was in East Coast, which was a great scene too, though. Don't get me wrong, because there was a great scene in New York City and whatnot, but it just seemed like everybody was getting signed out of LA, and I think that was the way to go, and I probably should have did that.
Okay. And then, so the last one then, what advice would you give to younger musicians who are just starting their career or their path in the metal world?
Well, that's a great question. I think what you need to do is obviously believe in yourself, because nowadays no one else will. I mean, there's no record labels that put your music out, and if there are, they're small, and it's not going to really. So you really have to be diligent. You have to be a good businessman. You can't just go out and be a great musician, because there's a lot of those. You have to be a good businessman, and I learned that over probably the last 16 years. That really business comes first. And I used to hear that when I was younger, and I'd be like, "Oh no, you got to look cool, and you got to, be, dress up and all that." It's the business part of it. That's so. To someone aspiring, definitely have your chops up, hone your instrument or your voice or whatever, but also get involved in the business side of it, because the business side of it really is pretty much the most important part of being a musician. If you want to do it professionally, like we do, and take it serious, you have to really know the business.
Okay. Well, that's what I had. I think that's plenty of great
That's great.
for what I'm doing. I hope that wasn't too bad.
That's really cool. Thanks. You did a great job.
Thank you. And if I come when I start putting this together, if I come across something I need to ask you, I'll just hit you up again. Is that all right?
100%. Yeah. Who else do we got coming on?
I've got Mark Chanilla from Accept.
Mm-hmm.
I've Mark Ferrara from Keel and whatever.
I know Mark Schumann. Yeah, he's from Rochester. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Sheehan.
Excellent.
And then a lot of other ones that are still trying to schedule and do whatever. So this is really the early stages. Oh, Doug from King's X.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that potentially could be in, but a lot of good people already that committed to it. And it's just, we're really in the early stages, but I'm just trying to get it rolling. So I appreciate
Excellent.
it.
I can get, no problem. If you need help with getting some of these guys, I probably get a hold of Tramp for you. I could get a hold of,
Oh, that'd be great.
Vinny would. Yeah, I can get Vinny for you. I'll get Tramp. I can get Lewis. Who else? Those guys.
I'll send you my pitch letter if you could forward it on to him. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'll just call him and let him know that I'm going to be on this documentary. It's going to be like a documentary.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably, we're looking at.
How's this look then? How's my background? Good, or is it bad looking then?
No, it's fine.
You wanted it more of a casual thing like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping for January of next year, this is going to be a work in progress. So,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so, anyway, yeah, if you want to let them know, I'm in. Anybody who fits the bill, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, it's got to be of a national level. So I'll definitely get guys like that together for you.
You can put them right in touch with me if you want.
Yeah, I'll be with Uli John Roth, but I don't know if he'd want to be a part of that, because I don't know.
It's funny you said that, because I've been going back and forth, and he's trying to schedule something. We haven't been able to nail something down.
Oh, good. I'll be with him in a couple of weeks. I'm going on tour with him for a week.
Oh, so maybe you can you slip it in and tell him it's legit and jump in.
100%. Yeah, 100%. He's a great guy. He's a sweetheart of a guy.
I've interviewed him before, and I don't know if he's cautious to jump in, if he's just really busy, but we've been emailing back and forth. We just haven't nailed anything down.
Good, get him, because I think he'd fit it really well. Because right now he's very aging, obviously, and
Right.
he's still doing it, and he's still on his A game. I mean, he's phenomenal. So we're doing those in May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So I'll be with him. So I'll see him a lot. So I'll definitely tell him. And anybody else I could think of too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What's that?
My Zoom is about to cut out.
Yeah, anybody else I could think of too.
Yeah, please send them my way, and I'll keep in touch with you to let you know how we progress.
Yeah, it'd be great. And if this doesn't come out good compared to others, I can redo one. But
Okay.
I didn't know it was like this. I thought it was just an interview, so it's my fault. I should have did it like on a cool background, like at a
Once I get
gig.
the timeline, yeah, once I get it in the timeline, if it's not workable, then we can just redo it, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. All right, good enough. This is a good start, though. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks for great. Thanks for reaching out to me, and thanks for including me.
No worries. Have a good weekend, my friend.
You too, bro. See ya.